here at the Arima Velodrome. It is the Coca-Cola Intercol East Zone Semifinal number 2. Arima North Secondary have already booked their place in the final, and now we get ready for Arima North Secondary and Trinity College East for the second semifinal. Both teams that have caused upsets in the Secondary Schools Football League Premiership Division. We have Brent Sancho with our coaches.
Coach, a difficult opponent in Trinity College East. Your assessment and thoughts in getting through this fixture?
Trinity College is a well-coached team. I expect a difficult game. We played them in the league and it was a difficult game then. I don't expect anything different now. What my boys have to do today is to go outside and implement the plan that we didn't the first time we met. And it wasn't so much that we just didn't, they didn't allow us at times. So I'm hoping this time, after some work, and having gone through a whole season, because when we played them, it was the second game of the season. It was fairly early. Having gone through a whole season and having belief in the plan now, seeing that it works, I'm hoping that we go out there today and execute.
Thank you very much, Coach. All the best. Coach, again, a difficult fixture coming up. A chance to play in the final against Arima North. Your assessment?
Well, Arima been having a good season. I've been watching what they've been doing, some good stuff coming from the coaching staff and the boys. We had a slow start, came on a little bit in the end, hoping to do the same as last year and get back to the final and hopefully meet Sawa again. So we're going to give our best shot.
Thank you very much, Coach.
The respect that both coaches have for each other. The players are on standby, and James Saunders is ready to lead us in commentary.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, and welcome to the Arima Velodrome, in case you just joined us as we get set for semi-final number 2 of the East Zone. Arima North Secondary coming up against Trinity East. Well, the clouds have come around and the sun has gone down, although no lights have really been put on the pitch just yet. But the players and officials, they're certainly standing by and ready for action. Our first look at the players. Trinity East in the yellow and blue. Arima North Secondary in the blue apparel, the Dow Dynamos. Good run for Arima North this season. They've only lost 2 matches this season, finishing creditably 6th in the league competition. Very talented bunch, and some might even say one of the bogey teams of this Intercol competition. Here's a statistic for you. They've just been beaten. They've been unbeaten in 32 matches in regulation time in the 34 matches they've played since last season. Arima, that tells you the story of just how difficult they are to beat. Trinity East will be hoping to be the team to cause that upset and grant them their 3rd loss. Oh, here's our officials. Joel Davidson, very animated in the middle, together with Ayodele Kujo and Kimya Janes. Anton Gill will be the 4th official, having a word with both captains. Well, it is still quite dark here at the Arima Velodrome. But as it is, play will start as scheduled. First look at the cast for Trinity East as they get ready. Place in the final will be in the forefront of their mind. Well, this is what their lineup looks like. Look out for Prince and Daniel, and they will be some of the key players for them. Dwayne Davis is on the bench for them.
Yeah, and that's how they set up. Of course, Franklin Williams, the outstanding player, corral to make sure show up things in the middle of the park, and Plaza to strike.
Frank Williams, of course, one of the returning players from last season. No Jaheim Fostin this year. Arima, though, well, most of their players from last season where they went 22 matches unbeaten in regulation time. And, well, for them, they've got lots of familiar faces. Marfan, certainly one of them. O'Brien, who played for St. Augustine last season. Ashing, another key player. Wayne Shepard, the vice president of the Coaches Association on the bench.
Yeah, and in a 4-2-3-1 setup, expect Stapleton to be the furthest man forward for Arima North secondary.
Look to the heavens, find help. He knows that the task at hand is certainly a big one. The boys from the Dial Dynamo, Arima North secondary. This is their home ground. Know this facility better than most teams.
I'm seeing a lot of anxious gesturing in and around the stadium. The floodlights have not come on yet. Nevertheless, the show goes on.
Oh, it's a start as Arima North try to get it into Ashing. And he's quickly up-muscled. And done enough to get a goal kick. That's well defended. Just couldn't find a way through as another Trinity East body intercepts. Could be anybody's ball. This time he does keep it alive, but it will be put immediately out of touch by Arima. To talk about facilities in our previous broadcast, Brent Sancho, in terms of how important it is to have these facilities on point at this level of competition. And perhaps another example this evening here in Arima.
Yeah, and it is really disheartening, as I've said a couple times already on this broadcast, from the perspective of these young men. They give everything when they're on that pitch. It's not necessarily perfect football every time, but in terms of their endeavor and their willingness to try, you could never question that. And to shortchange them, that's the best way I can coin it, James, with poor situations, such as poor fields, poor changing environments in Edinburgh 500 yesterday. Not just for the players, but also for the officials, is really not what we want for our young people.
Some might argue that Trinidad and Tobago, in terms of the Caribbean, more facilities per capita than most. However, often heard struggles of getting match venues and getting ready venues for matches.
And the travesty of all of it, James, is from since I've been a kid, which is not too long ago, secondary school football plays at a particular time every year, September to December. It's marked, it's known. And so the facilities, acquiring the facilities, making sure facilities are up to scratch for these games should be of paramount. You're talking about a league that is under the umbrella of a government agency, which is a Ministry of Education, and I'm very sure it's a short walk or drive down to Ministry of Sport, so it should be done. It really should, because these young men and young women deserve better.
Arima will hold on to possession. Well, not quite sure how much longer these young men can continue to play under these dim conditions. It's getting incredibly difficult to even see the jersey numbers. That's a good move, though, from Trinity East. Well, tries to switch the point of the attack. Picks out Thomas. Christopher loses possession. And again, will be Thomas. Ball falling kindly for Trinity East. And, oh, should be easy for the goalkeeper. It's a team that's difficult to break down. Arima, they are not known for scoring many goals, perhaps their greatest downfall, but it is a team that has proven time and time again a difficult opposition to find joy against.
Well, they will organize, and Coach Shepard have instilled with them the importance of tactical discipline. And when you look at the way they are structured and they approach the game, certainly from a defensive point of view, as that was a very, very late and high challenge. Very fortunate not to get into the referee's naughty book. But yeah, James, they seem to pride themselves in making sure that teams don't penetrate and get the better of them.
Just one team, Presentation College, has conceded less goals than Arima this season. Arima conceding 7 goals, Presentation 6. That in itself tells a picture. And both teams finishing just above each other.
And if you look at their structure now, James, they don't get a lot of numbers ahead of the ball. They have approximately 3-4 players ahead, when some teams may have 7 and 8 ahead of them, 6 and 7, more progressive attacking teams.
Oh, just a bit of agitation there from Wayne Shepard. He's been asking questions, particularly about the light situation as it continues to fade here at the Arima Velodrome. Diaz. Henry. Was nicked there. He's released the ball. Christopher, and he has won a foul. Referee will call that back. And finally play gets going. Oliver. And it's passed just a bit too wayward.
Well, at some point, James, I'm very sure this game will be halted because of the light situation. And again, it's another example, really and truly, a game of this magnitude, of a very good, sizable crowd here at the Arima Velodrome. And again, the young men have been let down.
Did have one match in Tobago suspended last evening due to a light situation, and it seems that this game will be paused. Referee, fourth official, just signaling to the referee to come over to have a chat. And well, no word yet, no official word as to the status, whether it will be a pause or cancellation. We'll await official word. However, it's disappointing from the perspective of the young men on the field at the moment and the fans who came out to support.
Well, this is a facility that falls under the umbrella of the Arima Borough Corporation, and I'm not sure if the lights are on a fixed timer like some lights are, or if it's manually turned on. Nevertheless, James, they would have known for some time that football is meant to be played here today, and it is roughly 5:52 in the afternoon here in Trinidad, and normally sun is disappeared by then, and there's no lights whatsoever. And on an afternoon where we spent some of our broadcasts talking about the need for improvement when it comes to making sure that the young men and women get the right situations to be able to play and express themselves. We've had another error that pops up and hampers what was turning out to be a very good spectacle. Fans are here, young and old, uncles and cousins, and they all left disappointed. Truly is a sad, sad situation that continues to impact this football here in the country.
And just to enlighten, no pun intended, our viewers, wherever you're looking around the world on the SportsMax app, YouTube, and of course the channels, the game between Arima North Secondary and Trinity East has been paused. No official word or confirmation from the officials as to what the official decision will be, but at the moment, everyone is standing by, and we certainly will update you as the information comes to hand. And scoreless, just a few minutes gone. In the meantime, the players and the fans, they're standing by, just waiting for further word on whether and if the lights here at the Arima Velodrome will be turned on.
Well, I'm not seeing anyone that's moving or motoring around to get it done. Again, I'm not sure what is the operations to get it on, as we see a lot of conversations between the officials and the match official. But my question is, James, should that not have been something that was addressed before this fixture kicked off? And why wait for the game to start and then try to fix the issue? It's an issue that the lights, or whoever supposed to be turning on the lights, whether it be manually or timed, and if it's timed, change the time, because you know what time the fixture is. Get it done before, of course, the game starts, and put the young players through this situation, because, again, it's another embarrassing situation.
Oh, it certainly is, and it's a shame. And just to recap or rehash what took place, of course, a game between Arima North and Trinity East. It has been halted due to bad lights, and we will update you as soon as we find out in terms of what the official decision is. In the meantime, though, we're going to send it back to Master Control and return with more action or an update. And as in the book of Genesis, let there be light, and there was light. And light has just returned to the Arima Velodrome, just about 5 seconds into play, which has started just about 6 seconds ago, between Arima North Secondary and Trinity East, as the lights have finally come back here at the Arima Velodrome. James Saunders alongside Brent Sancho, and did witness some scenes where the game was paused for just about 10 minutes or so due to bad light, and finally light back with us.
Unfortunate. That's the best way I can describe it. And the league, secondary school league, they've done their utmost best to obviously book these facilities. It must be known that they do not own these facilities, so it's not in their control whatsoever. They have been put together, of course, to make sure that these games are run and put together in the right place.
So it is a free kick to Trinity East. And, well, that's gone for 6 runs. To a different sport, that is. Who's doing count football matches? Got to get them on target. So we say welcome back to all the folks on our SportsMax app, on the various channels around the region, and on YouTube. Very vocal community there on YouTube. Arima North in the blue against Trinity East in the yellow and blue. Oh, clever skills there from Thomas. Gets Ashing involved. Tries to get Marfan going forward. Oh, he's done well, Ashing. And, wow. Came close to getting something, but Thomas' touch let him down in the end. Oh, tried something clever, and was just fouled in the end by Hazel. So it will be a Trinity East free kick. No Jaheim Foston this season for Trinity East. Certainly was their talisman last season, together with Frank Williams. Where's the number 14? This season would be the likes of that man Plaza to lead the line. It's Plaza. Promising, and good goalkeeping from Diaz. Done well to keep it. It's Christopher. Gets it out to Thomas. Can run at them, Thomas. No room on the inside. One back by Trinity East. Oh, here they come forward. Pushed back, but that's some clever individual skills. No foul. And Diaz with the easy pickup. Confirmation of Allen's yellow card. It's Thomas. He's been alive wise, gotten past one, and well defended. In the end, couldn't get past Nicholas Whiteman.
That's what you want in these slick surfaces. Thomas's willingness to drive at defenders. Certainly one of the high points of Arima North.
Well, it's the man with the yellow card.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that's a slippy. And that's a corner. Got away.
Yeah, it looked very unsure coming across there. Ambrose, the goalkeeper. It was a shot in hope, really. And that hope almost came into celebration. So, nervous moments there for the goalkeeper, James.
Certainly was Alexis Ambrose. Allen with the driver from distance. Well, here's Ashing. Can he make a difference? Well, it's a good ball in, and this time Ambrose holds on. It's made up his error. It's not the second time that first time I've seen that Scorpion attempt there from the attacker.
I'm very sure it's come out properly in practice. We just haven't seen it yet in the game. Third time lucky, maybe?
Third time's a charm. Well, that's a good touch there. Stapleton. More confident look from Arima. Searching for Ashing.
It's a good ball, good touch. Can he get in?
And well covered by the defense. It's a corner. Did mention that Arima, very good team defensively. Still have a swagger going forward in this match, though.
Yeah. And I was lamenting on the fact that sometimes they look a bit thin in attack, but so far so good for Arima North.
It's Martha in service. Trinity East eager to get it away. Just losing possession. It's with the boys in yellow and blue. Well, anywhere will do. Trinity East fighting to win it back, and Arima winning that battle. Thomas can keep it alive. Henry has found some space, punches it forward. And, well, not the best of service from Stapleton. And Ambrose will be happy to collect as man is down. It appears to be Thomas. And it's that area that the sun doesn't shine.
And I'm not sure what transpired. It looked like he may have been struck in the midriff area. It's a game that's been very intense and played in a... So we have another look here. It's a slip there by the defender. It's getting over. Oof. I think we all made the same gesture at the same time.
I tell you what, it's the wrong time to execute that scorpion kick. It's the first time he's connected.
Yeah.
And, well, everybody's okay now. This play is restarted.
Well, in the build-up to the game, James, both coaches certainly showed a lot of respect to the other. And you're seeing it now in the game with the both teams. A very cagey start to this semi-final number 2. As both teams unwilling really to throw numbers forward. Certainly not going to throw it in a wild fashion. Very controlled in their approach, both teams. And normally in games like these types of fixtures, sometimes it's a moment of brilliance, sometimes it's a moment of madness.
To say there's a thin line between both.
Brilliance and madness, or the moments?
The former. Lots of goalkeepers have been accused of that.
Certainly madness.
This is long, probing, Ashing. Such a tricky customer. It's well defended yet again by Josiah Daniel. Oh, that will be Trinity's free kick. So we approach the half-hour mark. Darian Marfan. Certainly one of the talisman of the Arima team. Guilty that time of the foul.
Risky, always risky when you try to play a straight ball into the middle of the park. Especially from a defender playing into the middle of the park, it's something that you don't want to do, straight passes in there. There's a chance it'll always be picked off. We talked about Pep Guardiola and the body positioning and how important that is for him and his players. And when you're playing those sorts of passes, you really want the player to pull off on an angle so he can see further up the park as well as receive the football. Any straight passes in the middle of the park is really a danger.
Cameraman Mark Lorgnad, the best view of that body position you're talking about. Can you see Thomas here? Run into traffic, but they keep it alive. O'Brien, I've seen his former team, St. Augustine, exit the Intercol. He'd hope that he can go a step further this season with his new team, Arima. So Brian, well, it's carved open room here, and well, it's blocked out of the air by the defender.
So look at the Trinity East bench. It suggests that both teams underachieved this season.
Yeah. Certainly have. Just feel, looking at the Arima team, look at that. Good individual skill there from Stapleton.
That's a foul.
Scenario of the pitch. Just feel with a few quality pieces in attack, it can be a formidable team.
Yeah, I think when you look back at the results in the Premiership division, at some games, I'm very sure both coaches would probably want to replay. Certainly there's a level of quality within these two teams that suggests that they probably could have finished a bit higher up the standings, the Premiership ladder.
I think of Trinity as well. Look, Jaheim Foston struggled to fill that gap. Certainly scored the lion's share of goals for them last season. And it's difficult replacing a player like that.
Yeah, they haven't. They really haven't. And I didn't expect them to, because he's a type of player that comes once in a while to a school. As we see Coach Shepard remonstrate to his players. That was a late tackle. I don't think it was malicious by any stretch of the imagination. Slight clip of the ankle. But then when you put it into context, James, and you look at the teams that finish ahead of them, one would suggest that they probably don't have that level of quality. And we speak of possibly San Juan North, Presentation College, Naparima College, St. Benedict's, Fatima. I don't think they're in that bracketing just yet.
One of the things I've observed about this season as well, of course, our 16 teams, 15 games or so in the league campaign. It's been fine margins, really, that have lost you the title. You look at Arima finishing 6th. They've only lost 2 games. St. Benedict's College stumbled at the beginning, and that was it for the season. Presentation College, they've only conceded 6, but they finished in 7th.
Yeah.
Very fine margins.
And that's why this Coca-Cola Intercol series will be very, very intriguing. Because now you're talking about one-off football games that those teams that didn't have the consistency in the league format can show their real worth and value here and have an unlikely run. As we have another look at the foul there. It's a bit of WWF.
Ouch. Marfan just letting his entire body weight fall there. Here's O'Brien. It's pretty much been the metronome of this Arima team. What an important role these gotten this season. Was the only player with Premiership experience coming into this season from last year, albeit lost every game with St. Augustine secondary.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that Arima, their coaching staff, and all connected with the team have to give themselves credit. They never once look like a newly promoted team. They look certainly capable and competent to be in this division.
Well, there we go. They've got the right idea. Checking out the action on the SportsMax app. And of course, you can get it on Google Play, the Apple Store. All you've got to do, download and be like that person, capturing the action within the action via the SportsMax app. Yeah, you're right as well, mentioning the fact that Arima haven't looked like a newly promoted team. And 34 games or so they've played. And they've been unbeaten in regulation time in 31 of them. Let that sink in.
Yeah, that's a tremendous run and again, a tremendous testament to the young people at Arima North. It's not the easiest division to play in, the Premiership. There's some teams, and we saw a lot of high scores throughout the season. And many teams have been promoted into the Premiership and have been promoted into a baptism of fire. That's not the case for Arima North. And when you look at this Coca-Cola Intercol series, when you're picking a dark horse, I think you look no further than these two teams here, Arima North and Trinity East. They started to put together some passes now, Trinity. Looking a lot more comfortable. No real inroads yet in Arima North, and we've seen this before from Arima North. They're very comfortable dropping the line, but now it's been breached.
Oh, no foul was the call from his teammate. Till exactly the opposite. Olivier and the Trinity happy that they've gotten themselves a good look in.
Yeah, it was no need, and his teammate was right. It's going away from the goal. There's really no need to impede his progress.
Josiah Daniel will be the one responsible.
That's a good ball.
Well,
you know what?
well, he'll have another shot. Josiah Daniel came close last time.
We'd want to take the first one back.
Not so close this time.
Not so close. And it was a decent position. Really just needed a good service to put it into the area. Didn't do that. He said completely mishit the target.
Brian, quick feet. It's Hazel. Couldn't find Thomas. On his coach instead.
Yeah, and it looks like the referee's asking questions here.
I think there's some concern about Allen. Hasn't recovered from that cut to his mouth. And, well, player's been allowed to continue, but referee keeping a close eye on it. Yes, Thomas. Well defended. Good battle out on the left-hand channel here. It's fair to say that Allen hasn't had the type of joy that he would have enjoyed. Ashing. Thomas. A good area. Nobody in there. Stapleton was a bit late.
Yeah, looking at Captain Hazel, he left it, and sorry, that was Nicholas Whiteman. He left it, and I was expecting Ambrose to collect it, and it was a situation, it's your ball, my ball. No one from Arima North was on site to maybe receive that gift. We haven't had a lot of goalmouth activity throughout this game. It's really been a battle in the middle of the park for both teams, and I think we expected that coming into this game.
Well, pause for what appears to be, well, it's an injury break. Thought for a second it might have been a drinks break. Marfan is the man down.
Yeah, that would be a big blow for Arima North if he's not allowed to continue. He is one of their attacking stalwarts, Marfan.
Certainly is, together with Ashing. Only two of the more recognized attacking players. Ashing, in your picture, did represent Trinity East in 2019, pre-pandemic, before making the switch to Arima North. So, he's playing against his old teammates.
I'm very sure he didn't expect to meet them at this juncture.
Yeah, he is guiding the troops, the captain Ashing.
You do have the sense that both teams believe that they can win this fixture. There's a lot of confidence in both locker rooms.
The good news is he's back on his feet, and no signals from the bench so far, so Marfan should be fit to continue. I'm sure everybody in Arima North would be breathing a sigh of relief. And, well, play will continue. Quite an interesting story for Arima, who have a 56% pass completion. Still quite tight, the pass completion. Not the highest on the surface, 56 to 51. But they do control possession. Certainly an interesting story, Arima North secondary. One of the former powerhouses here in the East. They were demoted in their very first season of the Premiership in 2014. Went all the way down to the senior grade division. It's 2 divisions below the Premiership. And somehow found their way back up. Back-to-back East Zone Championship winners. Well, that could go anywhere. Went for a corner. Just about 2 minutes remaining in the first half regulation. And of course, what else will be added? Remember, there was just about a 5-6 minute interruption due to bad lights. Oh, that's over the cuckoo's nest. Nobody home.
It's been very flat, the atmosphere, and there's a feeling that both teams have kind of cancelled each other out. And that's not necessarily a slight on both teams. It's the fact that both teams have made it difficult to play against. This may change now. That's a good idea. That's a good ball. This could be trouble.
Well, just lost his footing.
Yeah. He was trying to put his body in front of the defender instead of trying to win the football.
Short and collision in favor of Arima North. As the heavens just opening up just a bit.
Yeah, that would also add to the mitigating factors. Talked about the pitch being soft, rain before. The grass is very high. Probably needed to be cut before the game, but it's extremely high. And then now you add rain to it.
Well, I'll tell you what's high, Brent Sancho. He added on time. 11 minutes. That's not an error. Of course, there was a significant, as I mentioned, light break. And you're not looking at the World Cup either. We did see some astronomically high added on time.
Yeah, that's risky. Again, straight pass into the middle of the park. You just can't do it.
Whoa, that came close. And it's a corner. Good save. Ambrose has certainly made up.
Yeah, he has. For a moment there, I thought he was beaten. He got his long right hand and extended fingers to tip that one over.
And Marfan is back to fitness, and he will swing this one in.
That's a good ball.
Found an Arima head, up and over.
I tell you what, James, if he had attacked it from a front perspective and not side on, I think he would have hit the target. Not a look at it here. Marfan, good delivery. He's trying to jump side on and not meeting the ball forward with the forehead. It actually came off of his shoulder. And really, it should be hitting him square in the forehead. That was a chance. That definitely was a chance. Because he made the elevation. Certainly just didn't make the appropriate contact because of his body position. It's a good ball.
Marfan is wiggling his way free. Might find Ashing too long for him.
Yeah. Again, right idea.
Coach Shepard, of course, took over the team. I'll tell you about that after this cannonball. Goes to the Arima Hospital. Just didn't get it on frame.
So Kaleem Prince didn't need all that power. He just really needed to control himself, gather himself, and then strike through the football. Instead, he was rushed and harried. And not by a defender, by himself.
It's Thomas made his debut this season. It's a good-looking ball. Stapleton. Whoa. Ambrose unconventional, but it was effective. Oh, that was a chance, certainly.
We talk about atonement. I think Ambrose has not only done it at the first save, which he tipped over the bar, he's now gone one up with his unconventional stop.
No longer a sinner. He's fully tuned for his error. Both coaches on the bench today. Of course, both coaches in the TNT Super League. Queen's Park. In fact, Ashing, captain of Arima, still playing the Tier 2 with Queen's Park this season. Oh, look at this. Anybody's ball. Trinity ace up and away.
That's a foul.
Oh, speaking about Ashing. Right in cue, barging into the back. Frank Williams, the man overrun there. That's too long for him. Wayne Shepherd did take over in the latter end of last season in Trinity East. Of course, he was the technical director, set the programs. Only really came back into the program physically, into the business end of the season. Of course, he was in Taiwan for a bit. He's fit right in the program and has continued the excellence that we've seen from his team.
Well, we did do an interview with him regarding Arima North and their progress. And he did say it's no place he'd rather be than with Arima North. It's always good to hear young coaches enjoying their coaching assignments. Can't say the same of Ten Hag for Manchester United, James. That's my one swipe a day at Manchester United.
Well, lucky it's gone down to one. Chelsea, the new whipping boys. Ah, that's too long.
It's a lot of quality as well, the game. And that's disappointing because I think both teams are poised to do well, set up to do well. But they just have not been able to match their endeavors with quality.
This one will be dealt with by Henry. Tiaz picks up. Anybody's ball here. Thomas. Henry will be left to deal with this. Gets help from Hazel. Tiaz. Chooses Ruth one, looking for Ashing. Just get something on it, but it falls to Trinity, who's given it back to Ashing. Oh, and he's done well for himself, Ashing. Chance opening up, Stapleton couldn't get there. Still a chance. That's gone into orbit. Good passage of play, nice bit of transition as well from Arima North.
Yeah, giveaway. Ball comes across. Eventually finds it at the top of the box there, but that was blazed high, far and wide by Christopher. Really just needed to find a little smidget of composure and focus on hitting through the football and trying to place it. That's a good ball. Is he onside? Yes, he is.
Flag is down, and Stapleton's first touch just eluded him. Another good-looking ball in the area, crafted by Marfan. Well, that's ambitious. Ambrose looks as sturdy as ever.
Well, you have to give him credit, and I'm sure, James, you could testify to this. When a keeper makes that sort of error that he did, it could have a major impact on them throughout the game. But he's collected himself well, Ambrose, and have been solid since that, since the error that he made.
Now, we've now gone to 53 minutes, 53 and a half minutes, and no, this is not the second half, in case you just joined us. Still the first half. There was an interruption due to bad light. The game was stopped, and such we've been blessed with 11 plus minutes of time added. Can he keep this alive? He's offside.
Well, I'm not sure what this is.
Oh, saw the flag up early.
Yeah, I think it was the follow-through when the pass was made. Good time to score a goal if you're Trinity College East. We saw that happen yesterday with Miracle Ministries. They scored very close to the halfway mark, and they went on and had a tremendous second half, eventually running away winners against Karpi China East.
Well, it's Double H, Hashim Hill. Oh, you can just gauge from that type of run-up what the idea might be. Well, not all ideas come to fruition.
Well, it was a strange one because he hit through the football. I was wondering if he was trying to give it the Roberto Carlos spin with the right foot, but there's way too much laces on it. If you want that Roberto Carlos effect, you have to almost hit it with the outside of your shoe.
Well, to be fair to him, there's a Roberto Carlos video that has been circulating, making the wrongs this week. I'm sure you must have seen it.
Or not. Hence the reason it went straight.
Of course, one of the better exponents of the outside of the foot technique, Roberto Carlos. Think of Ricardo Quaresma as well. It's almost a technique that has gone out the door, something you don't see very often in this generation of players. Oh, that's a foul.
Yeah, and when you look back at free kick technicians in that era, of course, David Beckham comes to mind.
Janino. Mihailovic.
Real specialist, Del Piero.
Rivaldo.
You're right. I'm very sure if we try to name a similar list for this generation, you may stop at Messi and James Ward-Prowse at now at West Ham.
Well, not too bad. Still too high. Yeah, I think we're at an era now where less specialist, more all-rounders. Back in that era, a lot of players were known for particular skill sets. I think locally, you can call players and you can tell what their skill set was. Now the game has become a bit more athletic and more all-round players, but less specialist. And again, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that statement. It's a game that demands a lot more from players.
Oh, that's dangerous, but the whistle had gone, and well, 11 minutes has been completed, and the very lengthy first half has come to an end. A first half that has seen an interruption due to bad lights, seen chances on both ends, but hasn't borne the fruits of any goals here at the Arima Velodrome. 45 minutes still to play in the second half, but at the end of the first 45, between Arima North Secondary and Trinity East, the score is goalless. We're going to take a pause and come back with more. No goals, but plenty to talk about here at the Arima Velodrome. Goalless between Arima North Secondary and the Trinity East in the second semi-final of the East Zone Intercol. Well, I'll tell you what, let's look back at some of the moments that made us gasp and sent us into darkness as we check out the first half highlights. But it did start under a bit of a dim cloud, and early on it was Arima tried their luck. Ambrose not really holding on. Marfan later on. And a chance going over. Stapleton couldn't keep it down. And then Trinity had a couple of chances from distance. None really troubling the goalkeeper. Ashing though. Stapleton. And then look at this. Good chance of Christopher up and over. And that was pretty much the story of the first half, as the only real talking point perhaps was the light interruption as the match ends. Well, half-time, it's goalless. Let's look at the stats and see what they say. Arima North, though, they were the better team in terms of the quantity. But when you look at quality, well, no real difference. Not much to separate them. Fouls, though, well, that has been exciting. 11 fouls in total for both teams. Perhaps one of the more exciting facets of the first half. Possession belonged to Arima. And, well, in terms of the scoreline, as they were for both these teams, I'm sure Brent and Hans will have lots of fun discussing the first half. They're standing by.
Well, wet blades of grass in the background, and we are here on the pitch. Brent Sancho, Trinity College East. Let's start with them first. What do they need to do to really improve their second half?
Well, first of all, I think the game lacked genuine quality throughout it. In the middle of the park, both teams really struggled. Trinity College East did struggle in that department. And when you look at the stats, that's why you didn't see the shots on targets and the shots on goal being impactful in terms of a numbers perspective.
Yeah.
So they weren't able to generate attacks or generate any genuine threat to the goal. So they need to do better coming out of the middle of the park and supplying the attackers with the right type of ball so they can have that shot on goal or have that opportunity on goal. I think that lacked from Trinity College East.
Well, the Dial Dynamos, Arima North Secondary School, we've seen them many times disappoint some of the biggest teams in the league, unable to cause any disappointment yet for Trinity College East. What do the Dynamos need to do?
Well, in the first half, they as well struggled with that quality. They didn't have the quality to possess the ball. They did have individual moments where they tried, of course, to get in behind Trinity College East. They need to improve in that department. They're a team that can be slick in possession, very rigid defensively, well-structured, well-organized. They're good there. That's not a problem. The problem is from an attacking side.
Right.
It's just not generating enough opportunities and chances to breach the Trinity College East defense. It's been very, very comfortable for both teams for that matter, both goalkeepers. Their gloves and their tops are very, very clean because they've had nothing to do. That needs to improve. They can't just stay in that midfield battle rut. It looked like both teams have cancelled out each other. One of the two teams need to bust out of their shell and start showing a bit more offensive posture.
Well, Brent, we had a break in play due to the lighting situation that eventually got sorted out. How do you think that affected the players' first half?
Well, first and foremost, it was very unfortunate that something like that transpired, and it should not happen in a fixture that is so important to both schools, the league, and what the league have tried to do. It's put a damp on the thing. The fans, the excitement that was there generated before the game certainly took a lapse. And if you looked at the game, throughout the game, the atmosphere dampened, the tempo of the game dampened because of that situation. And it came at a time where we had lamented on what transpired yesterday at Edinburgh 500, and it was followed up with that. Again, another blot in the book. Going forward, of course, the players tried to get back into the momentum, but they never really got that opportunity to. We hope in the second half that can change and they can refocus their energies and make sure that they start focusing on what the task at hand is.
And it highlights more and more the importance of the management of these facilities throughout Trinidad and Tobago. When we come back around, we find out in second half who will face Sour North Secondary School in the Coca-Cola East Zone Intercol Finals. Will it be Arima North Secondary? Will it be Trinity College East? We find out in the second half here at the Arima Velodrome.
It's all to play for. A spot in the final still available for who wants it more, as Arima North secondary and Trinity College East get ready for the second half of this fixture. No goals in the first half, and certainly hope for more goals in the second, as fans who've come out today in Arima, they are quite eager to see some goal-scoring action. James Orders is my name. Brent Sanchez alongside me as we look forward to who will advance to meet Zonal North secondary, who've advanced via their 5-0 win in the earlier match at this same facility. Trinity East has been resolute and they've put up a good fight. However, no shots on target in the first half, and that is certainly something that they will have their eyes on. For Arima North, well, it's more of the same. 3 shots in total, just 1 on frame, and they themselves know that they will need more goals if they are to get anything special out of this fixture. Brent, I spoke at halftime. Keys to this match, second half, as we get set and ready for it. What do these teams need to do?
Well, I think from Arima North perspective, again, that word quality comes to mind. They have found themselves in positions where maybe they should have done better, whether it's a better pass, whether it's a better thought in what should have been done, maybe it's a better shot. It needs to be better, quality better. Those are the 2 key words that come to Arima North. There's been a lot of individual play. I did say that they are a team that does not necessarily, they don't throw numbers forward of the football. They're very conservative in the way they attack, and they're very comfortable doing that. But if they are doing that, the players that are ahead of the ball have to offer themselves and make sure that when they do get the ball, that they do the right things with the football to make sure that it has an impact on the team attacking dynamics. From a Trinity College East, I think quite similar. Again, the word quality and better, it has to be. This is a semi-final, and we've seen a lot of errant passes, a lot of exchange in possession from both teams. And you just think that they need to up the level a bit. I talked about how flat the tempo is. I think it needs to go up for both teams a bit. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see a better half of football. And you looked at the stats, scary. 5 shots in total. 1 of that 5 on target. An entire half of football and only 5 shots certainly lacks that. Hopefully a better second half.
Well, it could get exciting here, but that one is, well, snuffed out by the Arima defense. Well, had the right idea, and the defense did its job well. It's been a hard man to get past Henry. This one should be easily dealt with by Arima. Thomas had to skip out of the way as Trinity East continue to apply pressure. Oh, this is better. Diaz in no man's land and bailed out by his defense. Well, he's done well. Come out of danger there. Ashing. It's a foot race on now for Ashing. And
yeah, he should have gone with it. He should have continued his drive with the football. Not sure why he decided to turn and try to keep possession when he really just needed to go at the defense. And that's the sort of situations we've seen throughout this game. Needs to be rectified, and I think if that improves, James, you see a better second half. Just the decision making and the overall quality of the play has been poor.
The battle for this. It's done well to win it. Frank Williams. It's been a tad quiet in this match. Just pull the strings to the middle. Oh,
it's got to be offside.
A good space here of Diaz, but the foot save got low. And he did his job. Not sure he knew much about it, though.
I question whether or not he was onside. I found it very strange that he was allowed that much time. When the ball eventually got to him, he was behind everyone else.
Trinity East getting their first shot on target as well. Oh, look at Ashing go. Almost opened a corridor of space for Christopher.
Not a lot of blue shirts ahead of him when he drives with the football. Again, essentially attacking with 3 or 4. Arima North. And when you look at the numbers, Trinity College is well stocked in the back. At least 7 players behind there. That's good football. That's lazy.
Yeah.
Just shuffle across and collect the ball.
Oh, he's done well. He's found Stapleton. It's well defended though. And, well, a bit too long on the slick surface. So Brian. He's going to keep possession. It's Oliver as whistle is gone. And not quite sure. It's a player receiving some attention. And he's going to have a word with goalkeeper. Not sure if there's an object on the field. Oh, there is. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a pigeon.
I'm not sure if part of the refereeing course is how you handle animals. Well, I am sure now that it's not part of it, just the way that animal was picked up.
Diaz is certainly is amused.
Well, I'm wondering why Ambrose himself didn't pick the pigeon up. He's made the official run almost 30, 40 yards to come pick it up, and he was 5 yards away from it.
Wasn't trained in animal conservation.
I'm wondering if Ambrose is a little bit afraid of the pigeon.
I tell you what, though, that pigeon looks in a spot of bother.
Yeah, he does.
Not sure who he or what he came in contact with.
Well, the lights did go out, so maybe couldn't see and flew into something.
Oh, play will continue. Ashing. Handball. Marfan for that matter. Well, just allowed it to run across his body, almost closed off his own angles. To play quicker, loses possession to Arima.
And then he just gives it right back.
Well, look at that. Charity.
And he gives it right back.
Really tells the story of what we've seen so far.
Yeah, and again, the thought process behind all of it. And again, another errant pass. I hate to sound like a Super Blue Road match, but the quality, that quality seems to never die. She's been waving that flag from minute 1.
Professional. It's Marfan. Just wiggled away from pressure, Marfan.
Yeah, he's so comfortable in the football. Surprised the keeper has not made his announcement. He's late, nevertheless there.
Late picking up the bird, picking up the ball as well. Away by Oliver.
Oof.
Well, that could have gone differently.
Yeah. Just really happy that he came out of that unscathed.
Oh, there you go, Frank Williams. He's made of steel, isn't he?
This is a lot better. Hold up play, a lot better.
What a great tackle. Certainly saw a smirk at the side of Brent's face.
Timely and legal.
Well, they're appealing for a handball. Referee saw nothing wrong.
Yeah, it's impossible to give that as a handball. It's way too close. It left the player's head. And he had no time whatsoever to get his hand in what they call a natural position now. That's a good touch. Well, if it was meant.
Well,
it's a lot better from Trinity East.
Queuing up now as Arima win back possession. Searching for Stapleton.
I'm not sure why he's not just controlled it, and I think he's compounded that error. He's lucky to get out of that.
Didn't look too comfortable and still fighting for it, but he's managed to keep it, well, momentarily at least.
Yeah, poor.
Bad area. Quick turnover, could cost Arima.
Yeah, why? It's the question, really.
Well, it's right back in the source, as they say. Finally, Arima able to get it away out of their half. Christopher. It's going long, looking for Ashing. It's too long for him, too long for anybody. As he parted the sea, Tiaz is quicker than everybody. He's done his job.
Yeah, it's good defending. And in those sorts of situations, there's a fine line between ushering the player away from the ball and the foul. And he walked that line almost perfectly. It's well-weighted pass. And at the end there, that was well defended by Hazel. I think if he had exerted any more body onto that, he could have been adjudged of a foul.
Frank Williams.
He won't get there. Well, he has. No, he hasn't. I'm not sure. I saw the linesman raise his flag.
Thought so for a second as well with Daniel. Sire Daniel.
Well, if this does go into the net, I know Coach Shepard will go berserk because the flag was raised.
Oh, dancing classes in session.
Good cross as well.
And remains with Trinity East. A lot more positive in the second half.
Yeah, they have been the aggressor, Trinity College East. That's what let them down. That last pass, final thought, has really let both teams down, but more so Trinity College East, as they have been the aggressor in the second half. But they're piling up the pressure, James. They're starting to ramp things up.
Frank Williams certainly has come more alive. Almost found Frank Williams lurking in the middle. Oh, he's lost that. Frank Williams gets it back in. Sprints. Possession lost. It's back with Trinity East yet again. Will come again. Certainly wearing down the Arima defense. Frank Williams. Well, miscommunication from everybody. And that should run out of play into touch. It's Josiah Daniel who will have the throw in his own half. And about to say, it seems almost a minute since we've seen Arima have any real possession. Have a throw now, though. Olivier thought for a second for having it. Then he leaves it to O'Brien. Here's Olivier. Ball, flag remains down. Ashing's cross is knocked out. It's a corner. So it's a turn of Arima North to test the rear guard of Trinity East. Still no goals as we approach the hour mark. Marfan lines this one up. Oh, that's good. Needed a solid clearance. And I thought for a minute that might have needed a solid save just wide of the mark. It made their fans happier. That's for certain.
Yeah, that man Allen as well. I don't think he got the cleanest of connections. Didn't really look like he had the best of technique, but it was traveling. And if I'm to be honest, it wasn't far off.
Tell you what, you can look back at that action on our SportsMax app, download it, get it on the Google Play and the Apple Store. You can look at all of the Coca-Cola Intercol action, Issa schoolboy action, right on our SportsMax app. Oh, somebody's having thoughts. And oh, it's forced to see from Ambrose. Not the most conventional, it's a corner. Just wonder if he knew exactly where he was positioned. Well, he'll have to save yet again. And oh, Arima North, they're certainly threatening them from crosses. Trinity East can break here.
That's the second time in a row that the captain Whiteman did yeoman service to clear that one.
Oh, look at this.
That's a good shot.
Oh, Diaz was beaten, but not the upright. Well, they certainly left their calling card. Trinity East. And they're coming again. Safe pair of hands in Diaz.
Well, they're starting to ask questions, Trinity East. After a very dormant first half by both teams. Look at this here for a strike. Totally beaten Diaz. Prince there with the full lacing connect. Was well struck, well positioned. Upright stopped it.
Oh, can Thomas and company do it on the opposite end?
Well, he's trying his luck.
Well, wasn't too far off, was he?
Well, from 5 shots on target, 5 shots on in the first half to a bevy of shots. I think the shooting boots only just arrived in the velodrome halftime.
Oh, come again, Trinity East. Could be in. Oh, just needed a firmer touch, but the flag was up. Sean Plaza in the right area. A bit too soon, though.
Yeah. And you can feel the confidence of Trinity College's rising with each opportunity. There is a genuine belief. Looking at the body language on the bench and the coaches, they think that first goal is imminent. Maybe Arima North have something to say about that. Just have a feeling, James, that one goal may decide this one.
Well, Arima, they've got possession.
It's got to be offside.
Ashin, it's gone early. Flag is down. It finally goes up.
Yeah. Took a while, the linesman, but got it right at the end.
Got the crowd, let them know exactly what they thought about that. Quite a decent crowd turn out here this evening in Arima. They've looked a lot more dangerous in transition.
Yeah, they have, and they've really not allowed Trinity College East any respite. They've been a lot more brave in their approach. Where they were going direct in the first half, they're now trying to pass it around. And they've been winning a lot of those, James. Second balls.
Well, there's an example.
And another one.
How will Arima respond to the latest assault? Might be set to make changes. Ashing's ball is too long.
Yeah. That for a turnout. It's really been a good spectator turnout.
Well, it seems Marfan's evening is done, and Darren Dufour is the man coming in. Coach Shepard opting for fresher legs in the middle as the rain is pouring down here at the Velodrome. It's not raining goals yet, that's for certain. Now there's been another change as well with Pear coming in, replacing Hope. Trinity East. Will be Daniel's throw for Trinity. Ashing did get some hand involved. Will be Trinity's ball. Did find a yellow shirt, and he did eventually find his target. Certainly a lot more intensity coming from the team in yellow and blue. Here's the substitute, Dufour. Marfan, man who came off, not the most mobile, but he certainly can be penetrative with his passing ability. Dufour expected to add a lot more athleticism to the middle of the park. Well, look at them go. Thomas, was he fouled? Referee doesn't think so.
Inches, really. Wasn't sure if it was a right challenge to make Figaro, but he thought it was. I think one little push again and it may have been a penalty, a mistimed tackle.
Oh, this is high. Before gets there.
Got the finish.
Oh, they could be in. They are in. Arima North secondary against the run of play. Have found the back of the net. Well, call that inspiration if you may. They've made the right move, and it has paid off tremendously.
Yeah, it's another good service into the box. A lot of onshore and swinging, a lot of yellow jerseys standing around. But not that man. He made sure that he was on spot to bang it into the net. Stapleton with the goal. Arima North with the lead.
Well, just wonder how this will open up this contest. The rain is down, and with it, goals as well. Would the floodgates be opened up here? Or did Trinity have another gear?
I'm just looking back at that goal, James, and there were so many yellow shirts in and around just standing and watching. And because of that, and because of Stapleton's reaction, Arima North was able to put it into the back of the net. It's really a poor goal to give away. Maybe Ambrose could have punched instead of frailing with the arm, but the ball still had time in the area. And when the ball was spending that time in the area, there were too many yellow shirts watching.
Well, it's the end of Arling's evening. Tyler Ayers has come on to replace him. Arima perhaps sensing an opportunity to lock this game down. It's another team that gives away a lot of goals. They are a team that, once they do get a goal, very good at closing shop. Trinity have been knocking in the second half, but they've got to knock harder.
Yeah, and you just think that that goal from Arima North may push them out of their stride a bit. They were starting to build up momentum and showing a little bit more fluidity. But now it's a genuine test of character for Trinity College East. They've got 20 minutes or so to added on time to save their season, really.
There's Ashing. Oh, he could have touched, didn't he, Stapleton? It's wide of the mark. They're pressing a lot high up the park as well. Trying to force them out of possession. Speaking of which, Trinity have been really good at possession. Dominated 60% of it. And their pass completion has been quite solid, 67%. Compare that to Arima's 54%, and you feel game of football can be a cruel game, Brent.
Yeah, it is, and you go back to that shot by Prince that hit the upright. Inches to the left or inches, certainly inches to the right. And that might have been into the back of the net.
So we're less than 20 to go.
And that's what football is all about, isn't it? At one end, Prince almost putting the ball into the back of the net. And the next end, Stapleton puts the ball into the back of the net. Just looking at the setup for Trinity College East, they've not necessarily thrown more numbers forward. Still a sea of blue behind. I wonder if that's going to change. That's a mistake.
Oh, don't want to make mistakes when they that intense, but they covered well, Arima. Well, for all of their years of producing top players, Arima just got one East League title and just one East Intercol title. No national titles. In terms of players, wow, they've produced so many. Where do we start?
I know they played in a national final back in the 80s. It's that famous squad with Mutty Haynes up front. They lost, I believe, to San Fernando Tech that year. Really got to find a way back into it. This Trinity College East team.
Oh, they've got just over 15 minutes left to do it. Think of Arima and sport comes to mind. It's one of those communities where all wrong sporting ability and achievement. Did mention one of those names, Haynes. The 80s certainly was a terror. Scored 40 goals back in the 1985 season. He registered hat-tricks in 6 games for the Dial Dynamos. Of course, that was the year as well that you were referring to as well. They lost to San Fernando Tech. Just had a bit more quality, a la Russell Latapi.
Well, they had a whole national team, San Fernando Tech.
More changes. Ignatius Jarrell is the man on. And he replaces Cruel.
More than anything, Trinity East looks a bit shell-shocked. Since the goal was scored.
Remember in the earlier broadcast, we spoke about the likes of Kerry Jameson, former Arima standout. Top left as well, of course, the last change you mentioned.
It's remarkable to hear they've only won the East Intercol title once. He said, when you talk about talent and a stalwart of East football, Arima comes to mind right away. Denham brothers as well.
Craig Devenin and name of the other one slips me.
And Dwayne Demon.
Dwayne, that's it.
Well, the thing is, it does also speak to how competitive the East was. Because the likes of San Juan, St. Augustine, El Dorado. So a couple years with Barataria had quite a decent team as well. So yes, it's surprising that they haven't won more titles, but again, the competition that was in front of them was quite fierce. Question here is, does Trinity East have another gear? Poor cross.
Yeah, needed it better. Couldn't find a way past Diaz, who's quite frankly one of the best goalkeepers in the competition. Here's Ashing, one of the best wingers as well. And that's one of the best tackles you might see for the day. He's had a tough game today, Ashing. Played his football at the Premier League Tier 2 level with Queen's Park this season. Oh, Ambrose, he's only been beaten once and like it to remain like that. And seek some help from his attackers, but he'll have to defend first. It's Christopher. Floated into the area. Wow, that's well hit. That's very well hit. That's a bullet. Forget McDonald's. They're loving it.
We talked about seizing the moment and seizing the opportunity. Oh, look at this here. Why not? Tyler Ayers, the substitute, stepped to the front of the class, son. You can't win the lottery if you don't purchase a ticket. And Mr. Ayers has purchased his ticket. What a strike. Of course, the deflection may have had a lot to do with it nestling in the back of the net. But a lot of what transpired had to do with the fact that Ayers was brave enough to take on that shot. And he kept it low, he kept it on target. That's all you ask. In these sorts of conditions, James, that's exactly what you want from a player shooting from that distance.
Well, this time Ambrose holds on as Stapleton. He came really, really close. What a rocket that was. Tyler Ayers came on as a substitute. Think about substitutes we've seen today. It's Henry. What a strike. Oh, this is good. Trinity might feel undone, but they can't have a chance, and Diaz ensures that they have none. Well, time for changes, maybe. Trinity. So Retzi Brown is the man gearing up. And he replaces Cummings. Can he have an impact like his? Oh, just danced away from the challenges there, Christopher. Skipper puts it back into the area. Well, Arima sent blood. Trinity's lost some of their sting as the man who scored the cracker only moments earlier.
They've been solid defensively, as expected. Not really put a foot wrong for that matter. Arima North, the central pier in there.
Yeah, got national quality in there.
Hazel and Oliveri.
Yeah, Oliveri turned 15 just about a month and a half ago. And it's been really solid defensively.
But what they have done James, is they've done the basics of defending.
Doesn't have to defend against Ashing here. He's won that battle.
It's a good pass. This could be trouble.
Well, he's found a way through. Just held up in the surface. Well, that's a free kick. And it will give them a closer look at Diaz and his goal. In the meantime, though, Zion Metiver is the man looking to make his way on. And he will replace Thomas. Zion Metiver on for Thomas, who's had a decent evening. What about Prince? Can he make it royal? Still alive. And who got the last touch? And it was the Arima defense. Will be a corner. Daniel needs to produce something special. He'll get a second opportunity. Well, it's not well cleared, but finally it is.
It's a poor touch.
That'd be a good time to take a look at our SportsMax app moment. And, well, it's not even a debate. Just has to be this man. Ayers, look at this. Whack. That's how you do it. And, well, the goalkeeper would want to see that replay. He knew nothing about it. And that is our SportsMax app moment. Well, the clock is certainly ticking down on Trinity East as it stands. Arima North might be looking to book a date against San Juan North Secondary. Oh, look at that. Ashing is in. The goalkeeper, Ambrose, doing really well. Might be a chance for revenge for Arima North if they do get to the final against San Juan. San Juan, of course, a team that broke their 22-game unbeaten streak. Beaten in 22 games in regulation time until they met San Juan in the league competition. Game played right here at the Arima Velodrome, and they went down by 2-0. And revenge would certainly be on their mind if they can get one over them in the East Zone final. So, Oliveri just bundled over, 15-year-old. Just 14 last time he met San Juan. And he looks of things, he might have another opportunity in the finals if he can hold on to this result. Ball. Whoa! Well, look at that. Icing on the cake. The belly dancer deceiving the goalkeeper. And that is game, set, and match.
Oh. It's a goal that came from a speculative cross that ended up as more than a cross. And for poor Ambrose in goal, despite some of his good moments today, unfortunately, that bad moment is a dagger.
Oh, what a way to knock the wind out of the opposition. And Olivieri, he's done that really well.
Certainly in contention for man of the match.
He's just about to say that.
Stoutly. And then, of course, put a cherry on the cake by scoring a long-range effort. I'm sure he would say to us that he had all intentions and striking on goal. And the frustration now is starting to creep into Trinity College East team.
Yeah, you can just see it on the expressions.
They really haven't done much wrong today. And we did say, James, games of this nature is decided on a moment of brilliance or a moment of madness. I'm quite sure
We've seen both.
where this lies.
Well, that's Aguirre Devines. Not sure if he's related to our Hans Devines, but he makes his entrance. Well, that is in a dangerous area. Oh, we saw what he can do from there, Ayers. This time he changes his mind.
Tell you what, I think the pass was as hard as the shot he had to score the goal.
Player did well to control it.
Yeah.
Ah. One and a half minutes gone inside the 3 minutes that has been added on. Let's see. Arima comfortable now. Make changes. Just have to feel some sympathy for Trinity East.
I would think it's never a 3-0 type of game. Of course, when you look at the scores tomorrow in your various news lines, it certainly wasn't a 3-0 game. Very, very unfortunate, Trinity College East. They haven't done a lot wrong. In fact, we talked about how impressive they were in the second half, the start of the second half. And that just faltered.
Oh, that's good. It's all about seeing the clock down. And, well, he went down in the process. Inspired changes you thought for Arima North? Of course, Marfan came off and Ayers and company been really good since coming on. Oh, that should do. Maybe a last hurrah from Trinity. Fight has just gone from them, and for good reason. They've been bested by one of the better teams in the East. Ambrose will wallow in sorrow. Had some great moments, had some not so great moments. For the Dial Dynamos, Arima, well, could have a chance to perhaps give themselves a second East Zone Intercol title. They have progressed safely into the final, but they will take on the juggernauts of Zonal North Secondary. For Trinity East, they came, they battled, but eventually were conquered by a team that was much superior on the day. Chins up as they will strive for a better performance next season. That man certainly will dominate the highlight reels. Ayers, a firecracker of a strike to beat that man, Ambrose. And at the end of 90 minutes here at the Arima Velodrome, it's Arima North Secondary 3, Trinity College East 0. Let's look back at how this match unfolded. Started here. Error from Ambrose. Recover from that. Later on, Marfan service into the header over the top. Trinity East didn't get a shot on target in the first half. Ashingno and company, they were very, very menacing. Christopher over the Cuckoo's Nest. By the time the second half started, just one shot on target, but that would change. Diaz called into action. Keyboard Prince. And then Diaz, the busier of the goalkeepers in the early moments as Trinity piled on pressure. And Marfan's cross. And maybe that was a bit of foreshadowing of what was to come. But it was Trinity and Prince hitting the upright, and you just wonder what would have happened if that had gone in. But then this happened. Not cleared. Stapleton, lock up the bunks. And he would get the game's opening item as the rain came down in Arima. That was 1-0 against the run of play you might have felt. But there's nothing against the run of play here. Look at this. Ayers, firecracker. That got everybody out of their seat as it made it 2-0. And then for good measure, Oliveri, the wibbly wobbler, beating the keeper. And 3, he could smile about it. And at the end of 90 minutes, Arima doing the necessary, getting the job done as they walk away 3-0 winners and secure a place in the East Zone Intercol final. Let's see what the numbers say. Certainly lots of improvement, particularly in the Arima North end in terms of shots on target, 5 on target, adding 4 to the amount they had at halftime. This game certainly a very physical game. 17 fouls committed by both teams, Trinity East being the main culprit. Possession, that belonged to Arima North. And the most important result, the score, Arima North winning by 3-0. Well, one of the men who kept that scoreline 0 while adding a cherry on the top himself is the man he's standing by with, Oliveri, who is our man of the match.
Thank you very much, James Saunders. Stephen Oliveri, you are our man of the match. Congratulations to you. Brought to you courtesy NGC, the man of the match. He's looking at the trophy and smiling. But a great moment for you that we really saw you smiling was after you scored that goal, number 3 for today. What was going through your mind? Tell me.
To be very honest, it was a mistake, but I'm still glad I scored. And I come out with the man of the match, and I'm grateful.
Definitely. Now, last time around, you all played Sour North Secondary. You all lost 1-0 in the Premiership Division. But last year, in the East Zone Intercol, you all met in the semi-final round, and it came down to penalties. What can we expect from you and the team as you all get ready to face Sour North in the East Zone Intercol final?
Well, I expect I win because if we lost the first game, we lost the two. Yeah, I expect I win now because we can't lose 3 times.
All right, keeping the confidence up. Stephen Oliveri, our man of the match. Brent Sanchez with the coaches.
Coach, in the second half, your team started to get into the game and things started to unravel a bit. Your assessment of the loss?
For large portion of the game, we were in control. We didn't take advantage of that and finish our chances. The chances that we got, hit the post, go either side. But I think after hitting the post and then they scoring off the corner, it was hard to come back after that. As I said, they were resolute defensively, but I think that moment was really the changing point in the game, because I think we had more, control of the game before that. But kudos to Arima, did well, took their chances, exploited us on some set pieces, and we had to come back again next year.
Thank you very much, Coach. All the best. Coach Shepard, of course, victorious in your attempts here this afternoon. A game that you could consider a tale of two halves. At the end of the day, goals win matches.
Well, you could call it a tale of two halves, but the funny thing is the first half, we had the better of the game, didn't take our chances, didn't shoot as much as we should have on target. Second half, as I expected, Coach Davis made an adjustment at the half, and they had the better of the beginning of the second half. And I think the game, when you have teams that coach properly, the game comes down to moments. And that moment where they hit the post and didn't score, it was always a game going to be who scored first, had control, and then could dictate. And they didn't score there. We had the luck and scored on the other end, and then it was easy to manage the game from there. But it was a game, 3-0. 3-0 is flattering. We're not 3 goals better than them.
Well, of course, I appreciate your honesty, Coach. Next opponent, San Juan North, your thoughts?
Well, there's the game we wanted. We played San Juan here, and we lost 1-0. All respect to San Juan, coached by Coach Mo, who I have the greatest respect for. But San Juan won the game because we didn't do enough to win the game. They didn't do enough to win the game, but they won the game. And we didn't do enough to win the game at all, and we deserve to lose. So the boys wanted a second chance to correct that. They have it now. It's up to them.
All the best, Coach, in the finals.
Finalists for Tobago, Central, and East have been decided. Tomorrow we bring you action from the Hazy Crawford Stadium as we see St. Anthony's College go up against East Mukarapo Secondary, and another team from Mukarapo Road, Fatima College, goes up against Queens Royal College. Look out for the zonal semifinals, North Zone of the Coca-Cola Intercol tomorrow. This is where we wrap it up here at the Arima Velodrome. East Zone finals has been decided. St. Augustine Secondary fell to San Juan North 5-0. So we'll see San Juan North in the finals against Arima North Secondary, who just defeated Trinity College East 3-0. My name is Hans Devines on behalf of the entire SportsMax team. Thank you for watching as we continue to bring you Coca-Cola Intercol action. Welcome to SSFL Premiership Division. SSFL Premiership Division.